Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. How are you all doing today? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hi, Chrome. Hi, Baz. Daisy. Oh, I like that. Hello, Daisy. Welcome in. Keto and Coco. Hi, lurkers. Um, hi, Tater's mom, Abby, Jean. Jeans Beanza, hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, Cynic. Well, welcome in, everybody. How are you doing this Sunday? Hi, Lainey. I'm doing I'm doing pretty good. It's been a pretty good day. It's going too fast. I want to stretch my Sunday out as long as possible. Hi, Willie. Welcome in. Oh, you're going to finally progress. I love that. I love that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Baz and Chrome. Well, Baz, you do change your name like every like 3 or 4 days, so I kind of get that. I kind of get it. Oh my goodness. But so nice to see everybody today on this Sunday. I don't even know. It's sunny. I've kept my curtains closed, I got to be honest, because I'm just not in the mood. I'm not in a bad mood, just kind of I'm enjoying the cozy vibes today. So I've been under blankets, wrapped in sweaters, got the candle going, drinking some coffee this morning, relaxed. Hi, Siffy. Welcome in. How are you? Oh, my goodness. So, has everyone done their snap this week for this upcoming Wednesday's voting? Yet another marketplace. I didn't mind the theme actually once I got started on it. I think for me, thinking about another market was more annoying. No, it's just a sweater. It's a cozy cardigan. Um, but it's warm and plushy. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind another market. I'm glad it was just kind of like a basic farmer's market and not something specific like fall or summer. Like they didn't have any specifics attached to it, so it allowed a little bit of creative freedom. Um, so yeah. Oh, you finished yours yesterday. Nice. Chrome was a quick snap. I like that. That's okay. Yeah, I'm Keto's working on hers now. I know Coco did hers. I saw hers on stream. Um, I've seen quite a few in Discord. Everybody's doing a really, really good job. Really good job. Did you finish the star path? So that's my next question. How many finished this star path? Because I got to tell you, that was the fastest star path that I've ever seen. I got to be honest. Like that flew. I think it was just the amounts were so low. Like it was 3 tasks in Dreamlight, or if it was, 5 memories and then that was done. It just seemed to go really, really fast. You finished yours, Jean? Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it going really fast. Honestly, I don't mind it. Hi, Amanda. You finished yours, Amanda? You're about 1.5 way through, Cynic. Yeah, I enjoyed the Star Path, don't get me wrong. Um, yes. Nice. I'm doing well, Sherry. Thank you. And you prefer to be called Daisy, is that correct? Yeah, the extra duties they refresh every Wednesday, so they'll be 4 or 5 weeks. The snarf. Exactly. Exactly. You missed the restaurant duties? Yeah, I mean, I understand why they got rid of them. you know, like intellectually, I understood why they decided to get rid of the restaurant duties, because it was easier to do it that way than to kind of filter out what people were asking for in the restaurants, right? Because they were, you know, it might have been a higher level of meal that a newer player couldn't do, because they were catering this particular star path for all levels of players. So I think it was just, you know, one of those things where they couldn't figure out how to kind of do it without adjusting those. So, but yeah, the restaurant duties never bothered me. I honestly, there was a ton of fishing, but it was basic fishing, so I didn't mind it. Um, Aw, well, thank you, Baz. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. You need to do your snap, working with joy and sadness. Same. I am working with joy and sadness myself. Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to the fact that you can only grow certain things if you're not a higher level. Like you can unlock it, but if you don't have the ingredients, you know, that's where we're going to come into problems. So these are star path items. Obviously, I'm going to have to move this well because it's going to bug me. Let's move you out of the way here. Put you all the way in the corner. And then we're going to filter by star path. I'm just going to place down some items. We're going to be working with all of the new items today, looking at kind of how we could style them, how we could, you know, utilize these in decor, etc. Answer some questions, just kind of go over everything. I did get that one unlocked. Let's see. I think I have everything else down. Yep. Okay, I have those. And we get our little jukebox. Although the jukebox kind of annoys me, I gotta be honest, because it's for Inside Out basically more than it is the Star Path items. So it's a different color. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but it's fine. Yes, this is the Glittering Island. We can't use my actual glittering dunes because they're fully decorated. So, hi, Cress. Welcome in. I'm seeing you everywhere, flittering around the DDV universe. Welcome in. Welcome in. I don't have a mod right now, so. Oh, yay! Thank you for celebrating your milestone. Off to the pineapple jam you go. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. I gotta drop hot. Okay, there's hot cocoa and keto. My goodness. Okay. Okay. So we're going to be dealing with the new items today. I love the new items, I will say. I think they're fantastic. I'm excited to utilize them. We're going to be pulling out things that are going to go with those items. We're going to be pulling out things you might not think that go with them. So we're just going to be playing around. Kind of a Route 66 feeling. Now, I am doing this in the Glittering Dunes, but you can do this anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the desert at all. I literally just picked this one because I figured it had the cleanest landscape for us to look at and show off the colors. But you could do this on any particular floating island. It doesn't matter. You can make this work anywhere. It would really work on the beach. You know, when you think of this aesthetic, right? We're talking about like the 1950s, 1960s. And in that particular era, it's all about kind of entertainment in a lot of ways. Hanging out with your friends. It's about music. It's about sports. It's about movies. Entertainment blew up in this era because you're talking the TVs are now in everyone's homes. This is the first era that we're seeing, you know, all of that kind of happen. There's a lot of kids. Okay, you have to think that right around this time, you're talking about a set of teenagers, the boomers, right? The largest generation we had at the time. They're all becoming teenagers around this time of, in this era, the late 50s into the 60s. And so entertainment and things kind of follow that trend and become more popular. So when we're talking about the 1950s and 60s, it's going to be things that have to do with those. So you're going to want to think of it in that regard. What's fun? What do teenagers like to do? You know, it's movies, music, and sports and play and all of that kind of thing, hanging out with your friends. So that's going to kind of be what we're looking at and how it's going to inform the decor that we have. Hi, Z. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. So, okay. So having said that, let's take a closer look at the items that we're talking about here. This is the Cozy Cone, and it is a house skin. So if you're doing this build in either the Valley, the Vale, or Eternity Isle, you'll be able to have multiples of this home. So you can turn your house into a Cozy Cone, and then you'll also have the house skin. So you could have two. But if you're doing it on a floating island, you will be limited to one. Okay. We have the snack bar, which you could do multiples of. You could make this symmetrical. You can do whatever you want with these. And we're going to look at these both day and night, obviously. You were a teenager in the late 50s. Okay, Jean. Then you know, right? Hello, Ab Fab. Welcome in. Okay, so here we have the jukebox. And again, this is geared towards inside out, not necessarily this star path. So it is a different color, which will make it a little bit challenging. I think this particular item is going to look better indoors than out, but we'll get there. You were afraid that it wasn't a house skin. Okay, okay. No problem, Keto. Okay, then we have these two chairs, which, you know, here's the tables that kind of go with. These are like a diner situation. We have the two little booths, and then we have these two, which are technically booths as well, but they're going to be a little bit lower. So you can kind of see the profile. Let's put these up against one another. So it's got a lower back to it. It's a little lower bit of a profile to it, which again, either of these can go indoors or out. We have these two signs. There's this drive-in, obviously meant to be with like a drive-in scene, or it could be, if you're building like a road, it can be a situation where it's drive-in this way. So you can use it in multiple ways. Here we have the Cozy Cone Motel sign. Again, you could place this in a couple different ways, as an advertisement like up ahead or with the Cozy Cone Motel itself. Here is the movie ticket booth. I wish it didn't have the word movie on it, but it does. But it's fine. It's fine. And then we have this item here, which is the movie screen. It's a fantastic, well done item. We're going to get up close to this so you can see it. But it does have a little bit of that, if you see that flicker in the screen. It's a really cool kind of thing to make it look like a projector. Very, very neat idea. Works really, really well. And once you place this down, you can go up and change the picture. No problem, Dawn. you can go ahead and change the picture, and it can be changed to any particular memory that you have collected so far. I just happen to choose this one, and it does stay that way. So I have actually had this particular picture up for a few days now, regardless of my saving and closing the game and shutting it down and all that. The same picture does come up every time. I don't have to continue to put it into that screen. It does stay on, and it does stay to that picture. Okay, so if you see, we can change this to whatever we want. And now our drive-in theater is playing Wreck-It Ralph. Whatever we want to put on the screen at that time, we can make it stay. So it's a pretty cool item. And again, this is going to be geared towards whatever you have collected. Oh, let's do a little bit of a classic look here, since that's what we're talking about. Okay. So my suggestion is always to let's look at pictures, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to go to like a Google page. We're going to do a little bit of a search here together. Maybe. Let me just put the right screen up here. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of a Google search. And I'm just going to type in 60s drive-in. So if you are from a country that doesn't necessarily have these drive-ins or whatnot, you know, I would say go ahead and Google it, because here's the thing. These items are geared kind of a little bit towards like your American audiences. Your, you know, Great Britain, I think, would be in this category. But if you're from, like, let's say Japan or something like that, you wouldn't necessarily understand this aesthetic. So that's why we're going to go through a Google search. We're going to look at images here. And we're just going to look at these pictures and get kind of an idea of how a drive-in would look, how it would be laid out, etc. Okay, so if we take a look at some of these pictures, you can see we have a fence line in this one. Okay, drive-ins were generally fenced in because you would drive in and you would be within this self-contained area for ticketed people. So you couldn't necessarily, although we did, trust me. I mean, I wasn't alive in the 60s, don't get me wrong, but I had a drive-in theater where I grew up, and people would definitely jump the fence and join their friends, but they would be fenced in. So here we can see a fence. We see the movie screen here in the center. And then we see all the cars laid out with these poles. Okay. The poles would hold the speaker box. Okay. You would pull that speaker box off the pole and you would hang it in your window. And then back here, which you can't see, would be the snack bar. Now the snack bar would be away from all of this, so the light wouldn't cast across the movie screen. Okay, here's another picture, so you can see the same kind of thing. Here's one in color. You can see the pole here has the dual pole. Here we see everybody's lined up to get in, so you could do something like that with the drive-in sign here showing what's playing for the night. So you get an idea of kind of how these movie theater areas were laid out. Here's one that actually, that screen looks a lot like the one we have currently from the Star Path. You can see tree line. I mean, generally these were going to be away from town because the lights from town would kind of dilute into the theater, and they wanted it dark, right? So you want to be able to see that screen. So, you know, having trees and things around would be normal. So here's a good side view here. You can see how that snack bar is situated to the back and to the side. Oh, yes, blankets and chairs, yes. Mm-hmm. Hi, Weasley. I just saw you pop in. Hello, hello. So you get a kind of an idea of what all this would look like. and then how we can lay it out for ourselves. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to look at we're going to look at Route 66. Again, Route 66 is what the movie Cars is based on. Route 66 is a state-to-state route in the United States that runs through. You can see right here is a picture of what Route 66 is. It runs across the entire map. And a lot of families used to travel Route 66 as their kind of family vacation. It would take generally probably around, I would say, a week to go from here to here. I know our European friends, it's hard to kind of think about that the United States is that big. Because Europe it's not that hard to get from country to country, let alone just staying in one country, and it take a week long to get across it. So Route 66 was born out of that need to get from one end of the country to another. And it would have stops along the way. And that's kind of what the movie Cars is showing, kind of like that death of Route 66, the change of traffic because of a highway system that gets put in, right? If you've seen the movie Cars, that's what it's based on. But this will give you kind of an idea of what it's kind of depicting. Route 66 was very popular in the 50s and 60s. I'm trying to see if there's a good kind of picture of what, I mean, you can see here some of the signs, some of the, like you hear about things like the Giant Ball of Twine Museum, or it was like silly things that popped up. That's where we get the Cozy Cone Motel, is that it's supposed to be a little silly because those kinds of things actually did exist at the time. Hi, Kat. Welcome in. They failed with drive-ins. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so I hope that gives you kind of some thought into what all of these items are trying to kind of portray, why we got them the way we got them, why they look the way they look, etc., because they are kind of being attached to a certain era. But I wanted to go over that quickly before we got into the decor so you can get maybe a better feel for what it might look like. It runs through a lot of small towns. Exactly, Weasley. It really does. It didn't go through any of the bigger cities. It went all on the outsides. Hi, Coco. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, so we're going to talk about doing like Route 66. We're going to talk about what items can work with these in concert. So now we already have a few items that will be part of this collection that you might not remember we have. So there's a house skin if you don't have it. It is the V8 Cafe. Hi, Sharon. Welcome in. So you can see this V8 Cafe is definitely part of this whole collection already. It's got that same teal color on it. And then if you look at the table from the bonus star path, it is covered in that same symbol, that V8 symbol. Okay, so these items are made to go with this. So that's definitely a house skin you'll want to pull out and utilize. And then we also have that little gas station as well. Let's pull that guy out. You can see I've already kind of earmarked some items here in my favorites that would work well with this build. Here we have the V8 little gas station. Okay, so, oh, are we getting rated? Did I miss something? Probably. I probably did. Well, hello. Mr. Star Raid, well, welcome in. Welcome in, guys. How was your stream? You guys were working on, I think, some questing, correct? With Sadness and Joy. How was stream? We are welcome in to Decor Camp. This is something we do twice a month on my stream where we talk about just different ways to decorate or whatever. And this particular one, we are using all of the items from the Star Path. So we're going to be talking about how to use those items, what items might go with them, how we can use them in different builds, etc. We just got done going over what Route 66 was, the 1950s and 1960s aesthetic, what it all meant, how the 50s and 60s were really geared towards the boomer generation. So it's going to be a lot of things for teens because the teen group was so large at this time. So it's going to be things like movies, music, and beach time and partying with teenagers. It's hanging out with your friends. So gearing our decor that we're getting all these items from the Star Path to fit that kind of decor style. Hello, everybody. Hi, Mr. Star. How was your stream? Hi, Emily. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Jessica. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, so we pulled up this V8 Cafe and the V8 gas station. Again, these are items that we had gotten previously. They were premium shop items, but they do go with all of these newer items. Okay. So one of the things that I suggest that you do, what's going to be important, I think, for a build like this is what you're going to put underneath these items. So whether that's going to be pathing, whether that's going to be just the biome that you're in. So if you're doing it on the meadow island, or if you're doing it in the glittering dunes, or you're doing it on the beach, whatever place you're doing it, what's going to be underneath you. And then that's going to dictate how you're laying out your buildings. So like we looked at before, we Googled what a 1960s drive-in theater would look like. We kind of got an idea of the placement of how, those items would work together. And I think picking the right path to make it look as pavement-like as possible, or grassy, depending on which kind of way you're going to go, is going to be important for your build. One of the things you can do is either find someone who has a good one. So a Touch of Magic road rug. Touch of Magic road rugs are going to be really, really cool to use in a build like this. Whether you build it yourself, because they're not super hard to do, or you find somebody, visit their store, and you can grab theirs. It's just a road, so it's not going to be anything that's super specific.
Just wanted a hug.
Okay. Are you leaving?
No.
Okay.
Just wanted to hug my mama.
Thank you, daughter.
Hi, Chet.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Tialda. Welcome in. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my road rug. I almost said road rash. That's a different thing. Okay, so I have a basic road rug, which is this one here, and then I also have a crosswalk. So I can use those together like so. And again, we're just going to be playing around with items here. We don't necessarily going to be doing an incomplete build today. We just want to look at what would look good together. Okay, so something like so. So I suggest either making one yourself or making, a trip to someone's shop and then picking it out of their Daisy Boutique. All I did was I picked like a charcoal color, not quite all the way black, but in a charcoal color. A little bit of a texture underneath it too, so you can see it's kind of a, I don't remember what the texture is called, but it's a little bit textured to make it look like asphalt versus just a flat black. And then I just took the white lines and made them the size I wanted, and that's about it. It's really not, and you don't have to get super detailed with turn signals or anything like that. You can, and if you can do that, that's fantastic. It's whatever you want, right? First rule of Decor Camp, it's your valley, and you do what makes you happy, right? It's not my valley. It's not Mr. Star's valley. It doesn't have to please anybody but you. I don't think Mickey's going to complain about what you're doing. Remy might, but that's because he's a cranky rat. So you're going to want to just please yourself. Whichever way you want to go on that is, going to be perfect. Okay, so if we're doing something for, like, let's say the cozy cone, how would I style this? How would I work with this? Okay, so first of all, we obviously have the two items that go with the cozy cone the best. Okay, it like disappeared out of my hand. That was weird. There we go. Okay, so we have the sign itself, and then we have the building. Okay, that's going to bug me. I'm going to put it on the other side. It looks like it gets pretty darn close to the house. The house has a nice footprint to it. I'm going to go ahead and turn the mailbox off because that's going to bug me. Okay. you have a, yeah, I mean, cranky rats are a thing, right? Oh, and they did fix the mailbox issue, so it does go off immediately now. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to place some basic path down underneath here. I'm going to use the asphalt with border here. We're just going to place a little bit of it down just to kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like. I know, isn't it nice looking? I really like this cozy cone house skin. I personally was hoping it wasn't going to be a house skin because then I could have bought multiples of them and I could have had like a whole motel section. But now because it's a one piece, we're kind of beholden to just using one, or like I said, you could turn your house in if you're in the valley, the vale, or the isle. Okay, so now we've got the motel itself. I would say, honestly, any particular foliage is going to be just fine with this house. It's going to match in any way that you want to place it down. So I would say, depending on where you're building and depending on the aesthetic around you, is how that's going to dictate what you're using. Okay, so I'm here in the desert, so I'm going to stick to kind of deserty items. The nice things about these trees is you can see that they go on and around the pathing where you can kind of overlap it and make the sand show a little bit. Or you can place it right in the center. So that's the kind of nice thing about these dune trees is they do go right on top of pathing. Not so much the rug, but you'll be able to get them, as close as you want because it's going to be able to be overlapping and things. I mean, you can see I'm getting it right next to that house skin. So I'm going to go ahead and just place a few of these down. Let's see the cactus. Again, the cactus is going to be part of this aesthetic in the desert. You could place some cactuses around. Those are all going to be really cute to use. I would say bamboo wouldn't be my first choice. You could make it work, but that wouldn't be my first choice. I mean, you could possibly make that work. You can see it gives it a little bit of a different feel. I think it takes away from that desert look personally. Oh, no problem, Bug. I hope you have a fast and good day at work. We can have maybe some palm trees. So if you didn't want to go the cactus route, but more of the palm tree desert, you could definitely do that, which would be really cute. These particular palms will overlap in your pathing as well. These are the bent sunlit plateau palms. Again, they will go on top of the path as well. So those are really good ones to use. They are really cute. So whatever way you decide to go, I would say pick two and go with that. I think if we were to add the three, if you can see the palm, the dune, and the cactus, it doesn't quite go together. In my opinion, these are, I'm going to keep saying that, but it is just my opinion. You can do whatever you want. That's the first rule of Decor Camp. Do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I would do and what I think aesthetically works and what is pleasing to the picture. Okay. So again, these plateau palms, those two can go on the path. The bigger one here cannot. So I like the curved and the bent ones the best because you can get those as close as possible to other things. So you can see you can put them right up, you know, with the dune trees if you wanted. So that's just my preference with trees. Those are the best ones in my opinion to use. Okay. Uh-oh, flirting with Mother Gothel. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Another good thing you can utilize here are the Sunlit Plateau rocks. The large one's going to have bones on it. So just an FYI on that. So if you do the plain ones here, there's the Dazzle Beach Rock. Now, the Dazzle Beach Rock is nice because, again, you can go on the pathing itself. So you can see here, you know, I could put this big rock here, make it part of the decor. That's the Dazzle Beach Rock. Now, the Sunlit Mossy Plateau Rock, this one's going to be a little bit more challenging. It has a different footprint, and it will go on pathing, but again, the footprint's just a little bit, well, it might be the same. Again, personal preference if you want to see the moss or if you want it to be plain. I think that's just the biggest difference. So, and then you can see the sand underneath the Dazzle Beach one, I think matches. Now the sand is, see, that's the thing about the rocks. You have to look at what the sand is going to look like underneath of it. I think they're both pretty similar. Place them down next to each other. It's literally just going to be the color of the rock and whether you want it to have moss. So you can, I pull them both out, you know, pick and choose kind of what you would like to see. I think I personally like the plain one here, but either one would work. These do go on the rugs. Oh, that's nice. So you could end your road something like so. You could make your road end. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay. Now I took the liberty of going through inventory and pulling some items out that I think would go with these builds. Again, we're talking about items that, you know, we already have in the game or have come through the premium shop already, or things you can craft. So I did go buy some things. We have these fun lights. This was part of the Bugs Life premium shop pack. And I know some people were like, ooh, the popsicle sticks, but you really don't kind of notice it. So like if I wanted to put these lights on either side of the entrance here, I think they'd be pretty cute, especially at nighttime. I think they do light up and they're kind of a cool party. It brings out that party atmosphere, right? So you could bring out something like this. So that's a fun item. I think that would work with this particular house skin. Let's see what else we have here. These are, now those are more pink. I wasn't sure if they were going to look red or pink. I'm going to say no on that one, but we have this green gazebo. I don't know that it would work with the cozy cone, but you could make it work with all of these other items back here. So let's just pop that out while I'm thinking about it. We have a billboard. This billboard came in the Rockstar Star Path. You can pull out this billboard. You can walk underneath of it, so that's pretty cool. So if you wanted to, like, let's say, end your road at the billboard instead, you could do something like that, where you just extend your road out a little bit. Oops. And then you could maybe do something like this. So I think this billboard would look really cute with these items. Okay, so we're looking at the cozy cone. It depends on kind of what you're building around the cozy cone. Again, because we only have one of them, you know, I think that's going to limit what you're going to do. So if you wanted to maybe make the cozy cone as an attraction versus an actual motel, you know, you could put picnic tables around it. So I think the picnic tables would look really cute. We've got two different colors of picnic table. There's this, well, technically three. So there's this dark one, and then we have the light colored one. Let me see if I favorited that. Here it is. I think the light colored one looks kind of nice, but you could always do a touch of magic one as well. So you could always make your own with, like, maybe some kind of 1950s, 60s looking design on it. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, you could do something like this where it's not necessarily a hotel, but maybe it's like a rest stop. Okay, one of the best items, obviously, for these builds, and I didn't pull one out. If you have Eternity Isle and you have gotten the Oswald car, that's kind of the only real car we have at this junction that, you know, functions as an actual car. So you could pull that out, make it almost look like more of a rest stop than an actual motel. Or you could, you know, do something where you're making it look like a motel from the movie where he kind of drives up into the hotel. So you can make the road go in something like this and then put the car like he's pulling in. So again, just play around with that. Again, it's going to come down to how you're going to use these items, what you're building around it, etc. So going with the whole attraction thought, one of the items I think that will look great with all of these builds is the Ferris wheel. You know, I've said before in many a decor camp where Gameloft plays with the same palettes for the most part. So you'll see that all of these teals are pretty much going to be the same color. They are all going to match each other. Okay, so that Ferris wheel is going to look really nice. And then you can see here the oranges on the Cozy Cone and on the Hollywood Hotel are going to be the same orange. So you could pull out that building and make a little building, you know, area around all of this decor here. And then you're making it, you know, part of this bigger city build. So if we look through here, oh, Emily, I'm so sorry you still feel crappy. I'm so sorry. So you can see here that these items go really, really well together. Those oranges look really nice. You could make your whole section of, you know, hotels and the Cozy Cone maybe is the office, right? So if I'm thinking in my mind, like, okay, the Hollywood hotel is it's a building piece. It's a furniture piece. It's not a house skin, so I can buy multiples. So if maybe I have like maybe 3 of those and those are my hotels, and then I put the Cozy Cone in front as like the office, you know, you could do something like that. That would be really cute. Okay, so you can see how all of those colors, all of these items are working together to kind of make all of these items work and sing together as one. Okay, let's talk lighting. there's a few ways you can go about the lighting here. The lighting in the 1950s was very just kind of, especially in the United States, it's going to look a little bit more on the industrial side. They basically ripped out all the gas lighting, or they converted them. So this is when you start to see all the ornate stuff coming out of the 30s and 40s, all that Art Deco stuff. You're going to see all that kind of go away. And it's becoming a lot more mass production kind of looking stuff. So that's when you get lights like this. These globe lights become super popular at this time. I mean, obviously, maybe not in pink. The Mickey lamppost is going to go really well in a building like this. That would be really cute. But items like this are not going to necessarily match this aesthetic. So if you see here, look at the linear lines on all of these items. Okay, so look at the V8 Cafe. You've got just all of this round kind of bubble looking stuff. This is when plastic started to become popular. So the lines change, and you're not going to see a lot of the fancier kind of stuff. So you'll see lights like this. They don't match for some reason. It's because they weren't meant to. They started ripping all that stuff out, and they were replaced with things like this. So you can see these lights, that rounded globe, the roundedness of the pole itself. It's all going to have that same kind of look to it. And these shapes are going to look better with builds like this than the ornate lamps will. So I would suggest, if you're doing a build like this, these would work really, really nicely. These white ones here. You can do the colored lights too if you'd like. The orange one, we have these in white and orange. So you could do something like this. We have these in just the singles, kind of like the Minky light, but just the tall one with the globe on top. You're regretting not getting flows. It's going to come back. It's definitely going to come back. I wouldn't worry. Okay, so street lights like this, not going to really go with this kind of build. You can see it, right? Like you can see how these lights don't necessarily go with buildings like this. The reason these worked in, like, let's say places like Chicago, New York City, Boston, the reason that they worked in cities, you know, if you're basing it on cities you've been to in the United States, it's because they didn't tear the buildings down. The buildings all remained, and the window casings and all of the buildings weren't changed, right? The things that we're looking at are brand new structures that were put into place along small towns like Route 66 that got bigger because of the population growth and the traveling that started to happen more in the United States, and places like Los Angeles, things that were much more in like new money, new cities. But like if you've been to New York City, you're going to say, well, they didn't have those kinds of lights there. That's because the buildings didn't change. So the aesthetic on the outside of those cities remain the same. So I just wanted to put that out there that, you know, I'm saying that things changed, and that is true, but maybe not in bigger cities that were fully established cities. So your Philadelphia's, New York's, things like that. Okay. So there is an Eternity Isle light as well that would work, but I don't know that it doesn't come in a white. So you'd have to use a colored globe on it, and it would only work at night because they don't come on. So it would just be a pole like this for the majority of your time, except in the evenings when the globe comes to life. But again, those are just in colors. So I don't know how that would work. Personally, I think these are the best three options for these kinds of builds, is the triple light, the single version of that light, and then the Mickey light. The other lamp that would generally work too is the Wally rusted lamp. This one here. These would be really cute here too, but they're a little bit, you can see here, this light takes on the ground underneath it. So it doesn't have a base that's like a solid, you know, like here you can just see the path. It's going to show the sand underneath. So just as an FYI. You want to see what is in the moon shop on Wednesday? Well, I have news for you. I'm going to reveal that tomorrow morning. Hi, Megley. Okay. So when it comes to the lower foliage, your underbrush, there are, this is all going to be subjective. It's going to be what you want. What do you want your area to look like? Obviously, a jungle plant might not necessarily work that well because here we're in a desert, right? If I'm in, maybe you're doing this in the wild tangle, then yes, I would say you're going to want to cater your lower foliage to the ground that's underneath. So because I'm in the desert here, I'm not going to want to use something that's like super jungle looking because it's not going to make sense for the ground that's underneath it. Okay. There are certain plants though that do work and break that mold. This petal bush right here, I think is one of those. You can make this look good in any environment because it can take on the look of a cactus or it can take on the look of like a succulent, right? And we know that there are succulents that grow in the desert. So I would say this works really, really well. It goes really well with this particular item right here, this billboard. The colors work really pretty. I wouldn't necessarily put this up against the cozy cone itself just because the coloring, it washes it out and it changes, I think, the way it looks, if that makes sense. It looks more floral than it does on the desert ground itself. So you can see here what I'm talking about. Like here, it looks like a purple succulent. You can see that sand underneath it. But if I place it over here by the motel itself, it takes on a kind of a more floral look than it does a desert plant. So for what that's worth. There are these tinted and untinted dune cactuses. So if you're going with the cactus versus the palm tree, those are really good to utilize around the taller palms. I mean, no, the taller cactuses. These are really fun to decorate with and they look really nice. I really like the color. It's got that orange kind of tint already on it. So I think these would look fantastic next to the cozy cone. You can see the coloring here. That really pops out on the building itself and then it kind of enhances it in the cactus. So it looks really pretty with the building. Same with the, you know, the plain one looks really nice as well. Now you can see this one I can't put on the path. You can the tinted. I don't know why you can the tinted one and not the other, but for what it's worth, there you go. And then we have these. I don't even know what these are. I don't know. I'm not a botanist. I have no idea what the plant is, but it's a cactus. It's a finger cactus. I don't know what it is, but at any rate, again, this is orange tinted as well. Looks really, really good with these items. And then there's the plain one. And the plain one is smaller, so you can put these really close to one another and make kind of like a little bit of a vignette with them. Hello, Pam. Welcome in. So you could do something like this. Again, we decorate in odd numbers, so I would do 3. You know, like if you do 3 like that together, it makes a really, really pretty kind of area. You can put it around the sign. You could put it up next to the hotel, but these look really, really nicely together. Aw, thank you, Baz. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. Yes, tomorrow is Wake Up with Jam, and we're going to talk about upcoming premium shop. Okay, if you have Storybook Veil comes with a nice foliage package. We have the trees and things in yellows and oranges and this teal color. So these trees, I think, and this particular bushes and things like that are going to be really, really great for these builds because the coloring is going to be fantastic. So if you wanted to go a more tree lined route, like let's say you're doing this build in the meadow island. Okay, let's say you're doing it, it's not in the desert. These orange trees with these trunks would look fantastic with these particular buildings. And it doesn't necessarily mean it looks fall. You're just building it out to be a certain color. Same with the lower level bushes. See the orange color, how nice that looks. And then we have all different sizes, etc. So if you haven't gotten Storybook Vale yet, I mean, I would maybe think about it because these trees are the best. Okay. Even the yellows are going to look great with the orange. So you can see even that yellow is going to look really pretty. You can see the yellow on the sign there. Okay, and you've got that yellow tree peeking out from behind. Very, very pretty look. And again, that teal color's on the sign as well. So if you wanted to go and just continue a teal color throughout the entire city, you could do that. So if you're building, let's say in the forest, and you wanted to make it this forest look instead of the dunes and things like that, this teal color is going to look really nice as well. I think it's going to depend on where are you building, what's the natural ground underneath you, and all of that. Okay. But you can see that teal color is going to look really pretty here as well. I think it's because it is a darker teal than the teal of the building itself that's going to make it enhance that kind of look. Okay. Okay. So now decor wise, there are quite a few things in the game that we can play with that would help, you know, kind of bring out an atmosphere that we're talking about here. Again, that Route 66, diners, think, 1950s and 60s, all of that. There we have quite a few items I think that personally I would utilize in a build like this. These retro luggage items that we just got are fantastic. I'm obsessed with them already. I have used them myself in a build, and I love them. I love them. Okay, so definitely use those. And again, these are technically free items because it's all part of the star path. The Mickey balloons, these are the classic, just Disney parks balloons that we got. I think these are going to look really cute. You can see they don't have to match. It's a balloon, so it's not going to necessarily have to match 100%. But the red in the balloon definitely pulls the red out of the furniture pieces and on the buildings themselves. So, and then even if you use it with this, you can see all that yellow is going to be the exact same yellow. Like I said, Gameloft uses the same color palette, so they should all match. So you can see all those yellows are going to be pretty together there as well. So it just depends on what you're putting it up against. So you can see here, it's going to show that yellow and purple really pretty versus this building. You're going to see the red pop out and the whites. So it's just going to depend on what you're putting it next to. But I think these balloons are a really good item to utilize and play around with in your build. We talked about the possibility of doing like a beach build. Beach bingo, all the movies that started to come out in the 1950s. I don't know if you've ever watched the beach blanket bingos or, all those kinds of teen beach movies that were super, super popular at that era. You could do a really cool beach build. We have this island refreshment stand, I think that would work really, really cool in this building. If you're doing a beach build, definitely utilize maybe that to fill out your boardwalk. Okay. We have this drop pillar. I pulled this out, but I'm not 100% sure. It's got the right shapes. You'd have to be really careful in how you use it because the colors are just a little bit off. You could maybe place it on either side of like the Ferris wheel. I think that might look kind of cute, but you'd have to be careful what you put it next to. The Wanderer's Kitchen. Let's say you're doing an outdoor bar. Again, beach builds, those would look really, really cool. Oh, Pam, thank you so much. I had a pretty good weekend. Thank you so much, Pam, for 3 months. And welcome to the Pineapple Jar Club. Thank you so much, Pam. The Wanderer's Kitchen Set, which is technically from Buzz's RV, you could do a really fun on the beach build kind of a thing with this, or you could extend your snack bar out. It's got the cooler on top of it, so I think it's going to look really cool in between, you know, a beach build or something on your. I got to take these trees out because they're going to drive me nuts. We'll move these. We already talked about you, so I'm moving you. Okay. So the Wanderer's Kitchen, that's a really good one. It's going to match really well with these buildings. Fountains, I think any fountain, honestly, it's just going to depend on where you're at and what you're doing with it. If you're making like a big city center, you know, this fountain matches really, really well with these items. The coloring on this is going to be really pretty with that. Here is this flag. This could be fun in front of the Cozy Cone Motel. Again, like we were talking about making it like, you know, if you're using it as a motel building or whatever, this kind of item would be kind of fun. I think it's got the right colors with it. Here's another fountain. This is the Jasmine Fountain. This blue is a little bit different than the other teals, so you can see the difference in what I'm talking about with color. That's going to be much more like a natural kind of blue versus that bright teal. Other items, you could do a streetcar. So again, we were talking about places like maybe San Francisco, Los Angeles, all of those kinds of places that kind of became this, you know, California lifestyle. That's kind of when all that stuff became super popular, where kids were flooding from there. They were running away from home as teenagers and they were running to go to find themselves in California. Streetcars are a big thing. So you could do a streetcar that runs up and down your street, maybe more than you would do if you didn't want to do the road and car route. You could do streetcars, which I think would look super cool. It doesn't have to match. This color doesn't have to match. It's an industrial kind of thing, a car, a streetcar. It's not necessarily, you know, a decor piece. I mean, it is, but it's transportation based. So being a metal color makes sense. So it's not going to look weird. So streetcars would be really fun. Again, with the beach aesthetic. We've got this Luke's Shaved Ice. The look of this is very 1950s. This bicycle itself has that kind of look to it. So that would work really, really well. Surfboards are a must if you're doing a beach build. That was huge in the 1950s and 60s. Surf culture became just ginormous at this time period. By the way, if you didn't know you were getting a history lesson today in the 50s and 60s, sorry. I didn't know I was going to give you one, but I thought, as I started this, I thought, you know, I've got a lot of people overseas who might not understand the 50s, 60s cultures from like America and Great Britain and the music scene and all that. So I thought, well, I think I should probably talk about it a little bit. And I have a historian standing next to me, chomping at the bit.
I was just going to say how bloody proud I am of it.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's my baby.
Oh, my goodness. This table came from Eve. It's technically a Wally and Eve table, but the colors in it look fantastic with the V8 Cafe. So if you wanted to do an outdoor kind of cafe look, these tables are really great. Again, it's got that round look to it, and the colors match perfectly. So I personally love this table with the V8 Cafe. We have these recyclers in the green and the brown. I think if you want to use it, I mean, obviously no one in the valley is throwing away anything, but if you're building out a city build and want to use something, you know, there's that. This green bench has a teal back to it. So although it is green, it does have a teal back. Especially if you're doing a beach build and wanted to have kind of like a boardwalk with seating, I think these would be really pretty. So you can see that teal back kind of peek through there and match all the other items. Like if you're going to do the Ferris wheel or whatnot, you know, you could put some of these metal green benches by each other. Exactly. Mr. Jam is an amazing storyteller. This is true. He just recorded, by the way, today for next Friday's episode. So I think you're going to like it. Oh, this is your first live stream? Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for coming in. You got to hit the books. I get it. No problem. Thank you for coming in, though, Jennifer. That was lovely. Weasley's flirting with Mother Gothel. Maybe not. Okay. So one of the things we talked about was around our drive-in theaters, not drive-through, drive-in. They're fenced in. You can use the hedges if you don't want to use fencing. But the nice thing about fencing, I will say, is it doesn't count against your item limit for what that's worth. But I think the hedges would look fun as well. These counter seats, you could put them up against. You can see here what they would look like. The shape of these is very, very nice. You could put these counter seats on this side of the snack bar and make kind of like this little bar seating area. I think that would look really cute. You can see again those colors, they're all going to match. So that's really pretty. This popcorn machine, anything boardwalky is going to look good. Okay, so if you're building out a beach, your teen beach area, I think those items are going to look nice. We have the Mickey Mouse water tower. I think the Mickey Mouse water tower is going to look really, really good. Again, we're talking about in the buildup of kind of a boom where they're taking down, you know, maybe older wooden structures and they're putting up metal, and we're using metals and plastics and things a little bit differently. So I think the metal Mickey tower would look really, really nice in a build. If you're doing a bar, like let's say you're doing an outdoor bar. Oh, no problem, Emily. No problem. Is Mr. Jam on Discord? You have questions. Well, I will answer you in just a second. Let me just finish my thought here, and then you're going to like what I have to say. Okay. Hi, Lapis. Welcome in. So you can see that this blue here goes really, really well with these counters. I think this would be really fun to use in a outdoor bar area. I've used them before, and they always look really nice. And there's this counter as well that kind of matches these as well. It'll go with your... you know, let's go down and just kind of walk into this area. Okay, so if we look at the colors here, the Wanderer color here, this drink cabinet, and then this particular island, they're all going to work really nicely together. This island and this drink cabinet are from Wreck-It Ralph, and then this one here is from Toy Story, but they will work really nicely together as a group. Okay, so speaking of Mr. Jam, we'll just take a second here. I wanted to tell you, since you asked that question, Megan, Thursday, I stream on Thursdays from it's a long stream day for me. I stream from like 5 p.m. Eastern till like 10 o'clock in the evening. So it's like a 5-hour stream. Generally, I start with Hogwarts and then we go into DDV, but this Thursday is going to be a special. We're going to do the first part of the stream. It's going to be a question and answer session with Mr. Jam. So history questions, podcast questions, how to be a teacher questions, but you can ask Mr. Jam all kinds of questions. So yeah, from about from about like 5 to like 6:37, we're going to be doing nothing but Mr. Jam questions. Hi, Gnome. Welcome in. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited. I know he's looking forward to it. And there he is. And yes, we will be on camera.
Wait, what?
I was waiting for that. I didn't tell him that, but
Are you trying to get demonetized?
oh my God. You hope he's ready? I mean, me too. Hi, Christina. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay. That's so funny. Okay. So we talked about like a beach kind of issue. We have 2 different kinds of surfboards. They're all good. Surfboards are going to be your friend. These particular park lamp banners, the blue on these, I originally had pulled these out, but honestly, the blue on these really don't work that well. They're not teal, they are more blue. So I don't think they would work the best. Q&A with Mr. Jam, that's right. Okay, bringing out the neon. Bringing out the neon could be really fun. We have these corkscrew anemones and anemone. I always say that wrong. But the color is perfect for outside of the V8 Cafe. So you could do like a little thing where you have maybe some of these in the front, almost like you would place a bush. But you could do both. Like you could place a couple of these and then a couple of natural bushes on either side, and it could look like a lighting fixture. So they don't have to look like a C thing. You could put them down. Same with these bioluminescence trees. Okay, I think they would look good with the V8 Cafe. Now, I'm putting them here for a reason. I don't think they would look good with the drive-in theater stuff. I think that's going to be a little bit of a stretch. I think they've got too much of a pinkish purple color than they do a teal. Oh, Tilda, thank you so much for hopping into the cupboard, friend. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome to the jelly jar. You can play with your little sugarberry friends now. Thank you so much. Yes, hearts for Tilda. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, we do have a photo booth. Again, that's a really pretty lit item. I think that would look really cute with all of these items. If you've ever been to a movie theater, or not a movie theater, but a drive-in, they do have sometimes those photo booths where you can take pics with your friends or whatever. But yeah, that's a really cute item. The vending machines obviously are going to be really nice. I think the vending machines would look really fun outside of the hotels because hotels always have the vending machines, right? So like, let's say you're using multiples of the Hollywood Tower buildings. You could, oh, Deb, thanks for celebrating your 1 month. Thank you so much, Deb. I appreciate you sticking around, and you've moved up to the teal jar. I can't remember what we said the teal jam was. We can pick it. Let's say blueberry. Blueberry? I'm trying to think what other jelly is that color. I could say blackberry. No, blackberry's a darker one. I'll have to think about that one. But thank you, Deb. I really appreciate it. These snack machines here are from the Monsters Inc. pack. We have a food counter stall. This food counter stall is neon colors as well. Again, I think it lends itself to be more towards these items because it's got that pink and purple kind of color to it versus the teals and reds. But that's an item I think would look fantastic. Oh, Weasley, thank you for 3 months. Thank you. 3 wonderful months. Aw, thank you. Oh, hearts and chat for everybody celebrating and joining. This is fantastic. I love this. I know, sharing the milestones together. It's so nice. So nice. By the way, I'm like super dry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so dry today. Okay. Um, this little island ice cream truck would look really, really great with your like a beach build with these items. Your teen beach area. I just went all the way back to the beginning, didn't I? Okay. Um, I actually think this balloon would look really fun. You can see how it looks here with the Ferris wheel. This would work on a beach build, or it would work on a Amy, you snuck out. Oh, Amy, getting me blushing again. Thank you so much, Amy. Amy found out that I blush when that happens, and now her goal is to make me as red as possible. Thank you so much, Amy, and the hearts for you. I appreciate you, friend. Thank you. But yes, I think the up balloons would look really cute with the Ferris wheel. We have the lifeguard towers. Definitely add those into your. Those were like a big thing. The girls flirting with the lifeguards, right? So definitely use those. Wreck-It Ralph actually has quite a few items that would be really good in these builds, and you could do like an outdoor arcade. Outdoor arcades were a big thing in California. Some of them still are actually, like you hear about Venice Beach and things like that. So we have quite a few items from Wreck-It Ralph that would look really, really nice in these builds. So there's the air hockey table. And you can do, the nice thing is you can do multiples of these. We have the skee ball, and you can see the colors of these just pop out. This one here is a little bit more modern. I don't know if you wanted to use that, but I mean, it's got a pretty neon color to it. And then there's this coin operated game here. So we do have quite a few items to make an outdoor arcade that would look really neat. Bicycles. Bicycles are huge in the 50s and 60s, so I would definitely utilize your bicycles as much as possible because, you know, that was a very popular way of getting around, obviously. Picnic blankets. Like Jean was saying that they would go with blankets to the theater. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just these benches. You could use picnic blankets as well. People would pile out, or you'd go in your friend's car, everybody would pile out of the car and then sit on blankets. So, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be just you'd have to stay in the car. So we have this blanket here, which is a much more, it's got a beach look to it because of the sand underneath. And then there's two colors of blankets here that actually work really well in these builds because of the red and teal colors to them. So there's this red one here, and then there's this gingham one here. Again, same color palettes, Game Loft, thank you. But you could maybe intersperse some of your car seats along with some of the beach or the blanket seats, just to kind of make your build look maybe a little bit more dynamic than just a bunch of seats in a row. So for what it's worth, those work really nicely as well. Oh, Amy, you did not have to do that again, but bye. So you come in with a hi and then out with a bye. That's so cute. Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Oh my God, stop. Oh my goodness. Sillies. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you can see the variety of items that we have. My voice is cracking. You can see the variety of items that we do have to kind of fill all these different kinds of things out. So we have things that could kind of make a hotel area, dining, a drive-in. These are all kind of sectioned off areas, but how do you make it work all together? I think that's what we need to talk about next. Is if I have a beach area on one side of my build, because this is a big island, right? Like, let's say I have a beach boardwalk here. I've got my hotel section here. I'm going to build my drive-in over here. And let's say I'm going to put some rides down over here, because you can make them all work together. I think what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try and make your builds are going to function together with using the foliage. Okay. Now you can accent each particular section with its own special foliage. Like, let's say I want to use a few orange trees as ornamental trees here, but I don't necessarily want orange trees over here with my drive-in. So we need one basic foliage item that's going to anchor everything. So they're all taking place in the same area. Okay. So like if I'm talking about doing something where I live, I might focus on doing like oak trees. Or I might do something that's going to be the same tree no matter where I'm at, but I can accent then with a specialty thing in each area, if that makes sense. Okay, so if I'm gonna, let's look at doing a drive-in. We talked about fencing. Again, it doesn't matter what you want to use as your fencing. It's whatever works best for you and whatever color you want to use, etc. I'm just going to use this dark brown fencing just because I want to. But, you know, our drive-ins are fenced in. So we're going to go ahead and add in a fencing area. And obviously, I'm just doing this for stream purposes. We would maybe do it a little bit differently for a full fleshed out build. But our drive-in's fenced in. We have one entrance into the drive-in and one out. Okay. So we have our in and then we have our exit. And it's raining, which happens sometimes at the drive-in too. I can tell you that from personal experience. I have sat and watched a drive-in movie in the rain multiple times. So I'm going to place my ticket booth in the entrance. So something like this. And then I have cars coming in. So I'm going to grab a car, not a rug. I'm going to grab a car. Okay. So, I don't know. Let's say I have a line of cars coming through this. Something like so. And again, this is, you know, however you want to do it. We're just going based off that Google image we had. And then I'm going to place a few of these down as our, and then snack booth. I'm going to place the snack booth right here, and then I'm going to just remove that section of fence. Like so. Okay. And then here you can choose however color, you know, you want to use. If you want to do all reds, or if you want to do a mix, or you want to do all teals. It's whatever your drive-in wants to be, right? We'll just do a mix. How about that? By the way, if you want to giggle, look up drive-in movie theater commercials. They're so funny. And some of them look so inappropriate. they're just so bad. But it's good for a giggle. Okay. And then I'm just going to say someone's got a blanket up in the front here to watch the movie. Maybe we put one or couple in here. I don't know. Okay. Something like so. Now, you could put tables. I know I've seen some people doing things like this where they have like a table in front. And that's up to you, however you want to do it. You know, I'm going to make mine look like a traditional movie theater. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this single fence pole. Remember in our Google image in the beginning, we had these poles with the speaker hanging off. I'm going to put these poles here just to kind of represent that, just for some fun. There we go. So we've got our poles, we've got our cars, our ticket booth. We've got cars coming in. We've got our snack. So yeah, I mean, you can see how you can build out a drive-in. You could use the actual cars and maybe not use these outside at all. Nothing says you have to use these at all. You could just place a bunch of cars there. Doesn't have to be those particular benches. I just grabbed them just because I like the way they look. You could even make a little outdoor dining section. You could put in maybe one of these with some stools in the back. So I say play around with it. Definitely do some searching and kind of get a feel of how you would like to build it out, etc. Oh, we forgot our drive-in sign, which, by the way, can we talk about how small this drive-in sign is? It's so small. I don't understand why it's so short. It's bizarre to me, but whatever. I like it. I'm not complaining about it. I just don't understand why it's so small. Okay. So yeah, I think there's several ways to go about this, and none of them are wrong. None of them are wrong. Any questions so far? I should probably ask that. And let me take a sip while you guys maybe put that in chat. Or you can flirt some more with people. I don't know. Mother Gothel is getting a lot of attention in this stream. Can I just say that? There's a lot of Mother Gothel flirting going on. Everyone needs love. True story. Except Ursula. I feel like that woman doesn't need any love at all. I don't know what she would do with it. I mean, I trust Mother Gothel way more than I trust Ursula. Ooh, see? What's with the Mother Gothel love? I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Super funny. Super funny. You're cuddling with your cat. Aww. I love that. I love that. My cat is, I don't know what he's doing. He's running around doing something. At least he's not climbing me right now. You'll probably hear them start yelling in about 20 minutes here. Surfboards. Yes, we love the surfboards, Jean. It's so true. It's so true. I wanted to show you, I have utilized a couple of these items in an existing build. So I wanted to kind of show you that and how that looks. Let's go to the beach. So you don't have to use, the nice thing is you don't have to use these items as intended. For example, I'm going to be using the ticket booth in my Eternity Isle build, which is an amusement park. I'm going to be using the movie ticket booth only. I'm not going to be using a lot of the other items. And I wanted to show you what I have done here with a couple of the other items. So in my glade, I have built out kind of a little town. I just finished this last night. So I'm going to take you to the section I'm talking about here. I made a train station. Okay, so in my train station, we walk in and here we have the train itself. And you can see I've utilized the suitcases around the train station. I wanted it to, well, it's a train station and there's people hopping on, right? And then again, I've utilized that green and teal look back in here. But I've also placed the snack bar. So I wanted this, you know, if you think about a large train station, you're going to have things like vending machines. Kids are going to be able to get like toys out of the little bubble things, like they're going to be all over the place. So I tried to put myself in the mind of a train station that's like an actively utilized kind of area. So you can pop this snack bar, looks fantastic in here. Here are the V8 tables. Even though I don't have it anywhere near the V8 cafe or anything, I'm utilizing them to look like a bar area where you're grabbing maybe some fries and an ice cream and sitting down while you're waiting for the train, working on your laptop or whatever. And then I did the same on the other side. Again, just more of those suitcases and whatnot. Just if you're going to do an area like this, I suggest just turning the suitcases so they're not facing the same way. Because if you look, if we were to turn these and I put them down as they come out of inventory. So if they looked exactly the same and I'm lining them up, that's not going to look natural. Nobody places their suitcases down like that. So kind of turn your things this way and that, as in like somebody's just plopped their suitcases down, and we're seeing different sides of them. But you can utilize these new items from the Star Path in multiple ways that don't necessarily have anything to do with a drive-in. They don't have anything to do with the 1950s and 60s. You can pop them into your existing builds in different ways other than those things, if that makes sense. If you remember my Around the World build, which there's a video in my video list, there is my New York City build, my American City build, where I had the V8 cafe and the gas station together in that build. So it doesn't have to be this whole one thing that you're using it for. It doesn't have to be a drive-in, etc. You can, like, let's say, let's go back. Oop. So if you're doing an indoor build, I'm going to be working on an indoor build, like let's say here in the V8 cafe, and I'm going to turn it into a cafe. You can utilize those new seats as just cafe seats. They don't have to go in a drive-in. You don't have to utilize those outside just because they light up. So you can place these as benches with a table in between them. They don't have to be utilized in a drive-in setting. So if you like to do indoor builds, you know, you can do something like this where you're placing a table in between, and you're doing a little cafe. So I think utilizing these items based on what you need them to do for you. If you want to do a drive-in, I say do a drive-in, and that's different ways you can do that. If you want to do inside, you can do them inside. But I'm just trying to show you different kind of ways you could do them. But you can see how cute they look. So you could make one room, you know, your kitchen, etc. If you want to see a really, really cool diner build using kind of items like this, Lady Danbury on Instagram has a really, really cool diner. I suggest checking that out. A natural brown color in Scrooge. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes, absolutely. We did just get a new wallpaper for a diner that is really neat, which I like. I haven't seen it actually out yet because I haven't built my diner yet. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's really cute. I like that. Oh, Grass popping back in. How is the retro designing going? Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. We're taking a look at what the new indoor items kind of look like. We actually have multiple checkered floors. This is the large check floor that we already had. The one that we got recently is like a penny kind of check where it's a smaller scale. So you can see the difference there. It's got like it's like little teeny tesseract tiles within each of, it's basically the same checkered floor, but with like little teeny ones, basically. But yeah, there's other I think any other tiled floor would work too. I say, you know, just play around with them and kind of see what colors you like together. Oh, not that one. Holy moly. Even just a plain mosaic kind of stone floor would work. You've got the gray tile, that would work. But, you know, pick whatever trips your triggers, right? We've got this teal kind of linoleum floors. Linoleum was giant in the 50s and 60s. If you've ever been in an old style kitchen, linoleum flooring was huge in not just the United States, but Europe. It took everywhere by storm, unfortunately. And underneath it is usually asbestos. So if you buy a home and it's got linoleum, 9 times out of 10, it's going to have asbestos underneath it. I'm organizing while designing. I mean, I try. So yeah, I think there's all different kinds of options you could do for a diner build. I think that's going to be really, really fun to play with. We've got all kinds of tiled walls too. I mean, just a plain white tile is very nice looking as well. You can see what that looks like with the teal floor. Did we get any cool doors? I feel like we don't have any cool doors yet. I would say personally, I think a touch of magic door would be the best. That's just my opinion, but you could pull like the French restaurant door would be cute. That's a very, I like the shape. You can see the top of that door kind of echoes the archway that has happening in the seat. So, you know, I think bringing in that rounded edge would be really nice there. Honestly, just the green door that's kind of already there would be fine. This French Quarter door would work. I think that's a little bit maybe fancy for a diner. But yeah, I would play around with the touch of magic. This is a great time to try to utilize that. But I think those are way too green. So yeah, I mean, you can see, I think a indoor diner build would be really cute. And now I want to sit and I want to have a patty melt and a strawberry milkshake, please. That's what I want. That would be my 1950s diner order, would be a patty melt with onions and a strawberry milkshake. That's mine. Oh God, look at the rain. It looks like the jukebox is fritzing out, doesn't it, because of the rain? Let's take a look at nighttime. Let's look at all the lights and what they look like in the evening glow. Okay, so now you can see how that palm tree looks with these items and how pretty that looks. I think, again, with the the V8 Cafe stuff, those trees are going to look really pretty because of the purples and teals together versus like the snack bar stuff over here that's got the more just the teal and reds. So we don't really have that purple color kind of creeping in like we do on these buildings. So although the buildings they go together, it's the same era, I think the colors are completely different and you're going to want to be careful on how you use them next to one another. Your house had that kind of flooring? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's get a brighter view here. Yeah, I think if you're going to do a beach, like a teen beach area, I think popping in a Ferris wheel, utilizing the balloons. There's so many fun things, you know, like we talked about, this era is all about catering to teenagers and the boomers. I think we've got a lot of fun items that will definitely kind of, you could make a whole 1950s, 60s beach and it would look super fun, super cool. All these items go really, really nicely together. And I say go for it and you're going to have a really fun build. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I kind of already did my beach. But yeah, these benches, by the way, go back to back seamlessly. So if you wanted to do, like you saw in my train station area, you can do those benches back to back like that. The red ones are the same. I don't even know if I have any. They're craftable red ones. Let's see what that red looks like. Oh, we do have these, by the way. These benches here are from the Wanderer set. We talked about using the Wanderer kitchen stuff. This stuff, these will match all of that stuff as well. So if you'd like to pop in some of those benches too, they look really nice. You guys are calling Chris a mess. Oh no. You can see the look, by the way, of the Inside Out, this retro furniture that we're getting from Inside Out. You can see that's got all that curvy kind of stuff as well. Now you know why. Now you know why. That was the style of the times. Do I have any of those red benches? Let's see. Even these Mickey red benches, I think, would work really nicely. You could do like a little bit of a outdoor seating for the red benches. Those look really nice. Those are those Mickey benches that we all have. They're the basic Mickey. Those look nice. You know, if you've been to, I know in my town, the drive-in that we had, there was always like a play area in the front for like little kids. So like a swing set, there was like a merry-go-round, stuff like that for the like teeny kids that got bored with maybe a movie. I would say if you did something, you could do something like that. So instead of maybe these picnic blankets up here, look in under Toy Story. So I'm going to go under all, we're going to search by Toy Story. Maybe if I can find it. Where is it? Isn't it up here towards the top? Why am I not seeing it? I feel like I've passed it. Hold on. Toy Story. There it is. My goodness. Okay, so, oh, and you know what? You could put stuff like this on the beach too. These games, boardwalk kind of stuff. Space, by the way, was huge in the 1960s. So if you know anything about your space, again, Mr. Jamma, hopefully he can't hear me because he'll jump up. But the space race was happening in the 60s. And so space became huge. So this actually would look really, really good in a build like this, especially on the beach. Okay. Anyway, we have all these Toy Story items that you could build like a little playland area. I don't, you know, whatever. there's a slide. There's the slide. You could make like a cute playland, but at any rate, you could put these benches up here to make it look like that's where the parents would sit and watch their kids play. So something like this. But yeah, definitely look around those areas. But you could, yeah, you could add like a little play structure for the little ones. Again, we're talking about DDV like it's real, and we're designing for real people. But that's the way I always design my valley stuff. I always try to make it look like it's functional, right? Like I'm trying to make it look like my villagers are here and using this stuff and whatever. Such a fun time in U.S. history. It really, really was. It really, really was. Okay. But at any rate, I think a beach build would be really, really fun. I haven't done it myself actually, and now that I'm looking at all the items that we have, I might have to do this at some point. Because we've got a lot of fantastic beach kind of items that would work well with this particular kind of build. Again, you could do an outdoor bar by using, you know, a combination of the Wanderer stuff and the, you know, this is all Wreck-It Ralph things. You can use these benches up to the bar. Maybe if I can actually grab it. But yeah, you can put these chairs up here. You could use stools. Again, I think this plastic kind of stuff lends itself to the 1960s as that became the material of choice. But we also have these chairs that we just got in the Star Path. Those would look cute too. They don't have to be bar stools per se. You can just use regular chairs. I mean, it's your valley, do what you want. But any of those options would look really cute. We also have from Wreck-It Ralph again, there's that, me favorites. We have the stool from Wreck-It Ralph. It's this rainbow holographic stool. That would look really pretty. It matches well with all of these items. So you have quite the choice of items, I think, that would work well in this particular build. Okay, the rain can go away now. We're trying to do something here, DDV. Oh, is it going to stop right when I said it? Is it? Maybe. I just wanted to look at the stuff in the nighttime. Okay, so you can see how that this sign from the Star Path previous, the rock show Star Path. That's hard to say. Rock show Star Path. Goodness gracious. Those colors work really pretty with this particular build. I love all those oranges and yellows together. That looks really nice. I love that at nighttime. You can see what these lights then look like too. That's the very evocative of those shapes that we were talking about earlier. Getting rid of the frou-frou shapes and going for the more just like that clean aesthetic rounded look. These tables, these are those Lido deck tables that look fantastic in the V8 Cafe. These are furniture pieces as well, so you could make a whole gas station with these. Like, it doesn't have to be just one. You could put them, you could do something like this and put them together. And make, you know, you can do 4 of them and do a whole kind of gas station effect with the roadways. And if you, like I said, if you don't feel like you could be confident to make these yourself, get a friend who has them and pop them in the store. If anybody wants mine, I can definitely make mine available after stream and you can come over and grab them. That would be fine as well. Oh, Baz. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think there's a lot. We've talked about so many different things here that we can do with these items. There's a lot of it too. I mean, if you look at all the items that we've placed down here and all the different ways we can utilize it, right? Indoors, outdoors, adding items that we already have in the game, using foliage pieces, using color, using pathing, anything like that, I think is going to be very, very nice. And you can do these anywhere. Like I said, it doesn't have to be in the glittering dunes. You can do them in grass. You can do them, wherever you want to do it. No problem. Enjoy your country western music, Christina. I mean, I didn't really think of you as a country western girl, but I mean, go for it. Okay. Oh, look at how beautiful this trolley is lit up. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this item so much. It's got to be one of my top 10. I love that so much. Is there anything we got that I didn't touch on? Let me go back to my house. I want to show the inside out items that I have so far. And let's talk about those for a minute. It's not feeling very Christina, right? Country Western. I don't know. Oh my gosh, look at Mickey, by the way. Oh, Mickey. He's so cute. I love how his walk, it goes right with the that kind of outfit. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. I haven't actually seen Donald in his outfit yet. Okay. Let me go up to my inside out room. Let's look at those new items. I think it's 13. Okay, I'm gonna turn us back to daytime. Okay, so these two items here we had previously. This was from a previous star path. So you can see what those look like. I want this sofa I want it in the pink. Here's Bing Bong's wagon. Bing Bong's wagon you can make from Eternity Isle at the time bending table. So I added Bing Bong's wagon. And here we have Bing Bong himself, which I think we just get the one and that's it. These are the light wall niches. These are found in a chest in the Inside Out realm. So there'll be a chest that you'll find. I think there's 3 chests in total that have items in it, I think. But at any rate, you'll get that wall niche item. I think it's a little underwhelming, to be honest. I don't know. This item here, though, is fantastic. I love this thing. So that's the Inside Out tube. Here's the chair. This is a little table, this little pink table here. And then the boxes of tissues you'll get from Sadness. You got it in the pink? Where, Megan? Was it in your, is it in the shop? Scrooge hates me right now, just FYI. Hates me. I think it's because I make duck for holidays. And I think he knows and I'm being punished. Because I've not got, I'm missing a ton of Aurora items and I haven't gotten those yet either. So go figure. It's a Scrooge item. Okay. Yay, me. This globe here is with a Quest with Joy, but it will also pop up in the Scrooge store. This item here is from a Quest. It's like a memory trolley. This is just a wall item that functions like it looks like. It's just that. I don't quite get this one, but there it is. Like I said, I haven't decorated with anything. I'm just placing things down at the moment. I love this item. This one's fun. This one turns colors, so you can set it to whatever color. I like this item a lot. I think it's really pretty. Again, this item is a little underwhelming with the just white folders in it. It's like another niche item. But I wish the color on the inside was like maybe lit up or something instead of the same color as the wall. I understand what they were trying to do with it, but what it ends up doing is it just makes it look flat instead of like it's three-dimensional. Like it just doesn't look right. And then here's the pillow fort from Sadness. So that's what I have so far. Wait, did I get, hold on, I might have, oh, and the light. You can see the light there, the ceiling fan light. Let me just double check. Oh, the jukebox is technically the inside out item too. It's elemental. There it is. Oh, I got the memory viewer. Let me put that down because that item's really neat. I got the headquarter window, which it's a little low for me. Like if you look at it, you can't, it's the wall niche item is going to intersect with it. I wish those were a little bit higher, but that's okay. It's really cool. I do like that item. And then Sadness's pillow is actually a call villagers item that you interact with. So you can see it takes up a lot of room because you interact with it. So it's not just a pillow you set down. It takes up the entire photo area. I don't love that. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's it for now. So this item, if you haven't gotten it, does change for memory. You can put a memory in it. So like when they're viewing Riley's memory in the game or in the movie, so you can see each side. This is the projection side, so it's a little fuzzier than this side. But look how cute that is. I love that. It's a really, really fun item. I liked it because it was I like this one because it's a little unique. But yeah, one of the things that I saw, like I told you before, Lady Danbury, if you are on Instagram, she posted like a walkthrough video of her diner. And one of the things that she did was she utilized the basic TV that hangs on the wall. She utilized that and then put inside out memories in it for her diner, and it looks really, really cool. So that's something, you know, I think we can all steal from Lady Danbury. She was so smart in doing that. It looks amazing. I actually did in my first Valley Tour video that we just did live stream not too long ago, I did a walkthrough of her valley and we saw her diner and it was amazing. That one would be cute in a diner too, since it shows the little hamburger there. That's cute. I think there's a lot of different memories that we have that would work well for a diner build. Oh, that one's really cute too. But yeah, I think, ooh, not that one. Maybe not that one. I wish we could get, why do they give us all of them? I feel like we should get one of these and that's it. Like, why do we have to have it 20 times? If they looked differently, it would be one thing, but they don't. Okay. Anyway, off that particular soapbox. Aww. You're so sweet, Baz. Oh, you're itching for new items. Day 5 for you, Bev. Wait, are you still not in the game? Did you not get your game up and running yet? You know what? I'm actually not too sure that I looked at all my stores today. I'll have to go look. Anyway, this item's cool. This is from a Joy Quest. You guys are so nice to each other. I love this community so much. I love you guys so much. No game still, Bev? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Bev. And look at that. It's not raining anymore. Yay. I'm going to look in my stores because now I'm wondering if I looked yesterday and I'm just not, I don't remember. I got to be honest. I've been working on some decor areas. Looks like an IKEA in here so far. Hi, Aurora. I love this window. I always forget I have it. Yeah, nothing new here. Oh, by the way, if anybody needs anything in here, let me know. Because you may come get it. This is the Peter Pan window. There's the Wally billboard if you haven't gotten that yet. This is the window from Remy's. It's a great window. And then this stuff is just stuff. Nothing. Oh, there's Donald. Look. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, I love that. That I'm a pain? Well, you know, I can be. I won't deny it. I won't deny that. I'll take it. Ooh, a leather jacket. I know. I feel like that was a giant missed opportunity. I don't know why they didn't do like a Fonz kind of leather jacket. That was a bummer. Oh, look, Mother Gothel. We've been talking about you. Nothing bad, nothing bad. Today. I need to clean up over here. That's for sure. Keto started a poll asking if she should do the trash bash with Anna or Hades. Oh, Anna. I feel like that's much harder. I mean, it's Hades, so Hades would be easy to sarcastically trash. Anna? I don't know. He doesn't... Your guy doesn't look good in dresses and wigs. No? I can't imagine why not. Yeah, I say Anna, right? Anna. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, it would be way easier to be mean to Hades. I don't think I'm going to participate in this particular challenge just because I find it really hard. Like, I can be sarcastic, but like to be deliberately trashing somebody that I like, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. I'm too nice of a person. I'm not that they're not nice people. Keto, Coco, everybody's nice. That's not what I'm saying. For me personally, I would fail immediately is all I'm saying. We got 50 likes. Oh my goodness. Guys, thank you so much for the love on the stream. I can't be mean to Mickles. I just can't do it. You're right. I can't do it. No, I couldn't do it. Or Aurora. Like she would be, or Minnie. Like, how do you be mean to them? I couldn't do it. I would fail immediately. I would just open and be like, I fail. What's my punishment? Yeah, I couldn't do it. New light goal of 70. I mean, okay, sure. I'll pin it. Okay, let's look at our poll. So, where do I find it the most difficult to decorate? Main Valley, Storybook Vale, Eternity Isle, or Floating Islands? Most people say either Main Valley or Eternity Isle. Okay. So, for those of you who picked the Main Valley or Eternity Isle, I'm guessing some of you are Switch players and it's because of the item limit, maybe. But if not because of the item limit, what made you pick, like, let's start with the Main Valley. If you picked the Main Valley, what's the problem spot for you in the Main Valley? Let's do that first. We'll go to the Main Valley first. I have my space shirt on, by the way, see? Spider taming? I'm sorry, what? What? No. Mm-mm. No spiders. Mm-mm. I'm gonna nope out. Okay, so Pam, you said it's because you play on Switch. I figured that was probably going to be some of the answer there. Yes. Yes. I see that as definite issue. My biggest tip for Switch players is utilize large items first. Pathing, fencing, and large items first. If you concentrate on using those first, I think you'll be in a better place. And then I've said before, utilize the things that you have to use anyway as decor. So, for example, trees and bushes. Fruit trees and bushes, they're going to be in the Main Valley regardless, right? So, like, let's go up here to my forest. I know I've got fruit trees and bushes anyway. I have to use them. You can't remove them from the game, and they do take up an item limit. So I use them as decor pieces. So you'll see I have like a blueberry bush random. I have a couple blueberry bushes here. Or across here, I'm using my lemon trees as part of my foliage decor. So I'm placing them here and there as part of the landscape. So I would say those are some of the best things you can do for yourself is pathing, fencing, using items that you have to use anyway. Player houses, again, you have to use those anyway. And then using large items. So you can see, for example, down here in my meadow, or this right here, this big item that's I'm using as kind of a centerpiece when I walk up here. We've got, how many trees is that? We've got 4 or 5 trees on here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 trees, these big orange rocks, bushes, etc. But that's one piece and it will only count as one item. And so, you know, I think if you do it that way, you're going to go a lot farther in your decor. Hi, Cradle, than you would be able to previously. So that's my biggest switch tip. You're on Switch and you are almost fully decorated and you use a lot of repeats. Yes. So when you look at your item limit, you can see, I'm going to move my border here so you can see it. So you can see my item limit right now. I'm at about 2,900 out of 6,000, which I've got every biome except 3 completed. So not too bad. And my unique item limit though, again, that's what, Tielda, using a lot of repeats that will help with your item count as well. because you do have to make it work for both item sections for Switch. Well, that goes for us too. I mean, you know, my unique item limit is only so high as well. Using floating islands will help with Switch as well. Um, but yeah, these large items like this are very handy because they take up a nice visual space, and then but only one item. And I try to do that in every build. So you can see this item here is one item, except for these little rocks right here. I added those, but this centerpiece right here is one item. Same with this one over here. With this big tree in the center, that's one item. So if we highlight that, you can see the area that that thing takes up is pretty big, but that's one item. But look how full it looks. So, you know, definitely when you're on Switch, play around with those and utilize things that you have to use anyway. Flowers, fruit and trees that, you know, bushes and trees. That's the word I was looking for. Fruit and trees. But utilize the things that the game makes you have on hand anyway. Like Wally's Garden. I know some people hate Wally's Garden. Stranger Things. I don't watch that, so I couldn't say. Yeah, I couldn't say. You know, it's funny. I don't watch a lot of scripted TV much anymore. What else in the main valley? Does anybody else have like a thing that they have a really hard time with in the main valley? Any particular like area? We talked about item limit. Fruit butt. Fruit butt. Mr. Love Shark. Hello. How are you? How are you doing? We're talking about difficult areas in the main valley to decorate. Decorating around the non-movable ponds. That's a good one. Let's take a look at where we have those that I have done. I'm doing pretty darn good. So I do a couple different things with my ponds. So you can see here in my meadow, the aesthetic I have here in the meadow is definitely kind of like fall colors. I just liked the colors and I wanted to do like an apple kind of thing over here. So around my pond, I'm using a lot of low foliage. So your underbrush, I try to use small, low underbrush items around the ponds themselves. So you can do that in multiple ways. Using ferns is always a good option. Placing a good, nice rock here and there. You don't have to fill every section. So you can see I've taken my path up directly up as close as I can. I usually do around those first. So I take my pathing as absolutely close as I can. And you don't have to place an item then every single space. But using low foliage is a good option. You can also do, like Tialda was talking about, with using repeat items. Again, you can utilize your fruit bushes. Okay, so you can do, I could do all my raspberry bushes maybe around here. But around my ponds in my glade, I've done the same thing on every pond. I've used this bush around every single pond. So it's completely ringed. It's completely kind of walled off, but I can fish over top of these. So I don't have to worry about leaving a space for fishing. I can fish right over top of the bushes. So it's not a problem to ring your ponds with the bushes. You'll be able to go over top of them. Up here in my, let's go up here to the sunlit plateau. We have a pond back here. I've kind of alternated around the pond with these boysenberry. Is that what it is? Boysenberry bush? I forget. That bush. Gooseberry. Gooseberry. I've kind of placed them at even intervals around the pond, and then I'll probably take my path right up as close as I can get to it. Just to kind of finish that off. But I don't feel like I need to place a lot of foliage around here necessarily if I don't want to, because there's already built-in foliage around it. And the grass is kind of taller up in here. So don't feel like you need to necessarily fill out your pond areas. As long as visually it's working, I don't think you maybe need to decorate fully around a pond. As long as there's something, just be aware that your the water stuff that you put in, water foliage, that does count against your item limit. Even though it's in the water and everything, it does count. So, you know, choose maybe a boat instead of, like, if I want to cut down on maybe some of the foliage, I might put a boat down instead of, oh, where do I have a boat? Just going to type in boat. Can I type in just boat? Okay, so I could just maybe put one swan boat. Again, it's taking up a larger space visually. And then what you can do is go in with just a few pieces of water foliage instead of a lot, and then choose the bigger pieces. So you have 3 options of water lilies. Choose the larger one instead of the smaller one. So I might place maybe one or two of these instead of using maybe 5 of the smaller ones. And then maybe, you know, just a few of these here and there. You don't have to fill the whole thing out in that regard, you know. I would say just choose your items a little wiser. Use the larger items. Hi, Carissa. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hi, hi, hi. A tip, use houses. Exactly. That's when I say use the larger items first. House skins and your villager houses are going to be your friend because they take up a larger section of real estate, right? So you can see over here, I'm getting ready to do a campground, and I'm kind of making a ring. And again, Goofy Stall is a good example. You have to have Goofy Stall, right? Well, I'm going to use it where it makes sense in my build. So I'm going to make him part of this campground ring. And that's where he lives. So now he's taking up an area, and I'm going to use these cocoa trees, right? We have to have the trees. We can't get rid of them. We can't hide them. So I'm going to utilize those as foliage. And then I'm going to utilize this whole ringed section of houses first. Instead of putting in a ton of trees and bushes and things, do that first. Hi, Jangle Bells. Welcome in. Here too early. I'm sure they've never heard that before. Oh, it's never too early for Jingle Bells. Never too early. So yeah, definitely utilize your houses though. Very, very good tip, Tielda. Very, very good tip. These trees here are fantastic in the valley to use for your decor because they are huge. They take up a large footprint, and they're gorgeous because they rain down all these sparkles. And I've used them pretty much in every single biome. I've used them in the Plaza, Frosted Heights, Glade, Sunlit Plateau. I mean, you can use them in all different kinds of builds. So definitely utilize those trees. They're fantastic. No, don't leave. Okay, any other Valley questions before we go to Eternity Isle? I almost tried, oh my gosh, I almost tried to pet Buzz. I thought it was a critter. Okay. I forgot I don't have any critters with me. Okay, I'm going to head to Eternity Isle. So what is your Eternity Isle question? I know Eternity Isle is a little challenging because it's a lot of small areas. It's a lot of transitions in Eternity Isle. There's a lot of mess in Eternity Isle right now. My goodness. I'm just going to slowly do this while we're chit-chatting. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. By the way, I told you about this item before. Is a great way to learn how to do a circle with bushes. Totally is. By the way, that's the item that's in the shop for Inside Out. Fur. I say that a lot. That's such a Midwesterner way to say for. Fur. I knew that was going to happen. Darn it. Oh. I should have anticipated that. If all tips fail, close the game. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You just don't like Eternity Isle. Okay. See, I absolutely love Eternity Isle. And I'll tell you why. If you find it difficult to kind of come up with, right, that's exactly right. The odd layouts, right? You have to think of each section as its own. So don't think of that you're decorating on the docks, okay? Think of it as you're decorating this small plot. So kind of like I said before, when you're decorating in a biome, start with placing one house and then decorating just around that one house. Think of Eternity Isle as being one just giant biome, but you're decorating in one each teeny little section. They can be just their own thing. So, for example, my Eternity Isle is an amusement park, and I have made every single small section its own thing. So, for example, we have the Jungle Cruise section, and then just this random ride, because why not? Over here, it's completely different, and this is the park entrance and the castle for this particular amusement park. And then up here we have the Ferris wheel. So you have to think of each particular small section in like the docks Ancient Landing. It's not Ancient Landings. It's just this one small section. Okay. Same with up here. I've turned this area into nothing but shopping food court area. Which has nothing to do with a Ferris wheel, right? But you have to think of those kind of, you're decorating each section as something different. So maybe, maybe this particular area becomes an area just for Beauty and the Beast. And you have the Beauty and the Beast castle here, and this is their area. And then over in the Wild Tangle, you have this one small transitional section is just for Rapunzel. So I would say if you think of Eternity Isle as just all these small sections instead of the jungle, I think you'll decorate a lot easier. It's another thing. Why decorate if no one can visit? I agree. You know what it is for me? I enjoy seeing it. I enjoy when I'm resource grinding, I like seeing all the stuff in place. I like seeing the aesthetic of an amusement park. I like kind of going through and hearing the rides go. It's for me, it's a pleasurable thing to see it decorated because that's one of my favorite things to do in the game. If one of your favorite things to do in the game is play with other people, then yeah, I can see why Eternity Isle would not be the greatest. But yeah, I mean, I think if you, I cannot fish there. I want to dig there. Um, I think if you think of each area as its own entity instead of one large biome, it will make the decorating go a lot easier. You want to do an autumn theme for your plaza and peaceful meadow. Ooh, I love that. I love that. I just changed my meadow into kind of an autumn build. I don't know if you just saw that. We were just over there. If you didn't see it, let me know and I can go back and show you. But see, I enjoy this kind of thing where I'm just walking through, I'm collecting material, I'm cleaning things up, getting mist, I'm mist grinding, whatever it is. But I kind of like seeing it fully decorated. But, you know, that works for me. If there's something that you really like to you know, I would say start there. So, oh, look, I've heard about the gazebos coming missing. I'm going to blame Baz, by the way, because Baz made fun of gazebos, and I'm pretty sure that's why they're all disappearing. Oh, sure, I can definitely show you. Let me just put this gazebo back. I don't know what this glitch is, but it's weird. Okay. I'm gonna blame Baz. Because for how long did Baz tease everything about gazebos? See, you said you hate gazebos. I think that's why we're all being punished now, because Gameloft heard you making fun of all the gazebos and took them all away and said, fine, I guess they hate them. Silly. Okay. Let me show you my meadow. So I used a few different colors in the meadow. I used the apple trees and raspberry bushes and I think it's the cobblestone pathing. Okay, so these are the large centerpiece trees from the bind that we got. And then you can see I used mainly the yellows, reds, and oranges and just all in through here. And then just some natural foliage. And then what I did was I took a bunch of pine cones and just randomly dropped them so it looked like they were naturally occurring. Same with these book flowers in yellow. I only used the yellow ones. I didn't use any other color. The bright green fern, I think this is the forest fern or plaza fern. It's one of the two. I can't remember which one. But it's the one that's a little bit on the brighter side and not the lime green side. I think it's the forest fern. Just because I liked how the color popped up out off the grass better than the lime green one did. I used a lot of this wood furniture. So just a mix of the different wood furniture. My pathways are very rounded and not so much angular, just because I prefer that. Oh, the coffee bushes are up here too. But yeah, you can see the wood furniture. And then the houses I used Gaston's house because I liked the roof line was in that kind of orange color. Bye, hot cocoa. So I liked Gaston's house here. Um, Flynn, I liked Flynn's house. I liked the size of his house in this corner by the, you can see here on the apple tree house, the orchard house, how it's got that kind of a blue roof line as well. I feel like it just kind of went with this house in a progression. And then over here, it's the same blue colors in the library. This is it's like Bell's Library or something. I forget what it's called. But yeah, all those kind of cottage core houses in those colors. So here I can show you then you can see here from a sky view how those houses all kind of work together. And then this house here, again, there's this is the purple cottage. It's got that kind of blue roof. And then over here we have Bell's cottage, and it's got the orange roof again. So oranges and blues in the houses, and then I used all of those yellows, reds, and oranges around it. So if you're wondering why I picked the blue houses over some of the other colors, if you look at the tone that pops out of the cobblestone, it is a blue like undertone to the path itself. So that's why I picked the blue. Had I gone with like so some of the cottage houses that I have up here. So like this one here has the thatched roof, or the pink of this one, I think the path wouldn't have had a nicer tone to it. So that's why I picked the houses with the blue. So FYI. This is my color theory for the day, but that's why I did that. And not a gazebo in sight is so true. Although I do have one down here in the glade, and now I'm wondering if it's gone. Now I have to go see. The Winnie the Pooh's house and bee stuff, yeah, it's so good, isn't it? I'm going to be using that in a different build, so that's the only reason it's not down here. No, see, this one's fine. That's interesting why this one stayed and the other one's gone. I wonder if it was like a one-day thing, because I haven't looked at Eternity Isle in a day or two since the update. I haven't looked at it since the update, except to go to the store. So that's interesting, because this one has furniture in it too. Oh, Joy, you're so cute. Where did I put Minnie, Daisy, Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Goofy? So they are going to be on a floating island in the forest. That's going to be Toontown up here. I just haven't finished it. It's just they're up here. And Monsters Inc. will be up here too. They're going to be part of the Toontown build, I think. I haven't decided purely yet on the Monsters Inc. house. But yeah, Oswald and all the other Toon stuff is going to be up here. So my layout right now, I don't have anything on these islands. I haven't done these yet. They're brand new. I just haven't had time to even think about them yet. My Forgotten Island, as you know, is where all my mermaid stuff is. The Frosted Island is empty. I don't, no, I haven't done it yet. That's not true. I do have a plan. My Frosted Island is going to be a Candyland build. So these are all the houses that are going to be up here for this Candyland build. I'm excited. I think it's going to be really cute. Let's see. Sunlit Island is just my farm. The Glade Island is Tiana and like a New Orleans build. The beach is almost done, and I did most of the beach on stream. We are going to be doing that. Oh, you cried at Elemental. I love that. So my beach island, Moana and Stitch are up here. I haven't quite finished it yet. You can see these areas here aren't completely fleshed out. So I need to finish that. That's an ongoing thing. My meadow island is for dream snaps only. And then my plaza is where my fairies are. The valley is it's in progress. Eternity Isle is an amusement park, the entire aisle. Storybook Vale is going to be nothing but princess related, kind of. So yeah. I did start my princess builds, but it's not all the way done yet. You want to build a Toontown amusement park build on the floating island for Mickey and friends. Oh, that's so cute. I think that's going to be great, Megan. I think the new retro items definitely would fit in a Toontown build. Absolutely. I'm planning on using some of them up there myself. I am definitely going to do that. So this is one of my princess areas that's under construction. But yeah, I really like it. I hate that, by the way, how you can see the grass pop up like that as you walk. Oh, I want them to fix that so bad. But yeah, we've got Merida, Rapunzel, Aurora is back in the corner there. And then up this way. Okay, Aurora. That was interesting. You can just walk next time. Up here is going to be Beauty and the Beast, and then we've got that castle on this side. So it's going to be like this big giant castle. The Enchanted Castle build. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. I'm liking the princess vibes. Mulan's going to be up here as well. Yeah. And Snow White, right? Because we are getting Snow White. Hopefully. Cinderella, I mean, that's going to totally depend on how she's going to come. Is she going to have her own house? Is she going to have a realm? What are we doing with her? I just don't know. So that one's up in the air. Don't know about that. You're going to send hate emails to Gameloft? Well, maybe not hate mail. You can say you dislike something. Maybe don't say we hate them. By the way, having all these bear parts in my inventory is starting to squig me out a little bit. Ooh, what's in my pouch? I forgot to look. Be something good. Okay. That wasn't where I was going with that, but cool. Thank you for that. You like the rose fences? I read it. The rose fences. I can't say it now. The rose fences are fantastic, aren't they? I do love them too. I did like a little water thing here. I always want to do bigger things with the water, but most of the biomes I want to do it in already have water. A counter, I know, right? So exciting. I do like having Beast Stall down here, though. I did add that. And then I did add Tiana's Restaurant, which it looks great here in the bind. Look how pretty that looks. Because we have all those yellow trees back here and stuff. It kind of goes with the awnings. Really pretty. I like it a lot. I think it would look great in Mythopia, too. I added all the stalls, but I just kind of plunked them down. That's not where they're going to live. I love that kitchen piece. I'm going to cherish it like nobody's business. It's my favorite piece now. My favorite. So this is my player house right now, so I can double up on those to make it look like that manor. And then I'm going to do something fun with the enchanted house there. How do you counter a counter? I mean, I don't think you can, right? I mean, it's just great. The leaf piles. they are in your inventory. Do you have Storybook Vale? If you have Storybook Vale, they are already there. They're in underbrush. It's just the autumnal leaf pile. They're just there. Yeah, you don't have to craft them, don't have to purchase them. Same with the little glowing mushrooms. I say if you're going to do a fall build, those are perfect too because they're beautiful up against the oranges and reds. I try to use those a lot. You can see how pretty they look for a fall build. But yeah, they're already in your inventory. Oh, you don't have it yet? Okay, well, when you get it, you're going to get a ton of trees and bushes and all kinds of fun stuff, foliage-wise. So for Eternity Isle, I feel like we got the pathing and like fencing and stuff like that versus, and we did get a number of like jungle-looking items from Eternity Isle, but from Storybook Vale, we got all of those beautiful orange, the dark greens, that teal color. We got all of those from Storybook Vale. Counters and leaf piles. What's worse? Counters. I did put Wally's Garden in here, and I know that's a hot topic, hot take. People were asking me, are you going to move Wally's Garden? Yes, I did, because I want to make a farm. I'm going to do a big farm in between. Basically, I'm going to use the casita walls, and I'm going to wall this off, and it's going to be a big casita build with this building here, which is that new Moonstone Bundle house, and then mini casita, and I'm going to have a vineyard section, and then I wanted this regular kind of farm section. But I liked that it kind of already had, it grows the crops, you know, automatically and stuff. So I kind of liked it. The only thing that's not going to be real princessy are these two sections here for me. This section's going to be kind of my dead zone. So Hades and Scar, and then this fall, like wilting leaf cottage. I liked how the yellow goes up the stairs to this orange. So I wanted it to look kind of transitional. These trees are not going to stay here, but it's going to look like a dead zone. And then up here, I'm going to do a second kind of fairy village. So this is I mean, it's fairy princess, right? Sure, why not? There'll be a castle here. I'll make it as bright and princessy as I can. But yeah, that's going to be there. And then Mulan, this is where my China build's going to go. So I have the 4 Asian buildings up here that we have so far. There's the Reflections of China building there, Mulan's house, and then the 2 temples that we have from Turning Red and Mulan over here. Correct to say that each of the stalls in the garden yes, they do. So let's go back to the bind. So if we go look at those stalls, okay, so if we look at the stalls here, you can see the meals. A lot of them are going to be, those are Eternity Isle meals, except for the beignets. Those are just a Tiana specialty. I've already wiped these out, so there's that. Okay, I have enough room. So if I go to Beast's stall and I pick up the flowers, you're going to see that all the flowers, except for the roses that you always get from Beast, they're going to be the flowers from Storybook Vale. Same with Moana's boat. The fish are going to be all fish and sea creatures that you can catch in Storybook Vale. So you can see there. Now, you'll see cod, tuna, rainbow trout, and squid. That's because you can catch those in Storybook Vale. So but it's going to be all based on the things from that section. So once I place things down over an Eternity Isle, it'll be the same situation. Now, in Eternity Isle, I'm not placing all of the stalls. So, for example, I am not placing Tiana or Mulan. I'm just placing Aladdin, Kristoff, and Moana, and possibly Beast. Depends on if I have room. Because I have to do a lot of adjusting in Eternity Isle right now because I'm going to be using those new ticket booths, and they aren't small. So I think it just depends on how much room I have. But that's a good question. That's a good question. But yes, they do carry the items that are for that particular area, which is great because now the grinding, I think, especially for fish, flowers, and you know, when I did Kristoff's stall this morning, it had marble, it had petrified wood. I'm trying to think of what else there was on it. Oh, and on the gem stall from Aladdin, there was the ice and the molten lava. So that was in the gem stall. So because it's things you get while mining. So it was really nice because now I'm building up my inventory for things that I didn't necessarily mine a ton for. And moss, yes. Moss goes in there. Good one, Dub. Yep. Club Rush. Oh, speaking of Club Rush, I came across something I wanted to share with you guys. As I was going through Storybook Vale the other day, cleaning everything up, actually it was this morning, I did notice, oops, wrong way, too far. I did notice, so down here in the trial area in Teapot Falls, okay, I'm going to walk because, oh, do I have something to feed you? I hope. I try to feed the critters in Storybook Vale as much as possible because I've met all the basic goals for that. Oh, I don't think I do. Oh no! Here, will you eat one of these? Okay, fine. Don't. See if I care. I care. Okay. This section right here is spawning things, but you can't see them. So walk over the areas really carefully, and sometimes you'll see all of a sudden it'll say pick up, and it's right there. Do you see it? There's nothing there, but you see where pick up pops up. I can't pick it up. Hold on. Let me drop something so I can show you. I'll drop you. Okay, see where it says pick up? It's a piece of Club Rush. So if you can't, if you're not able to find things sometimes, just walk over this area. You can even see that crab that I just dropped is down in that rock. So moss and Club Rush, you won't see it at all, but it will be there. So tip from me to you. You love getting moss. I love using moss. I use moss quite a bit in my builds, to be fair. I like the color of the bright moss. Where did I put Goofy? Oh, he's over here. You are welcome. Yeah, it was funny because I usually go through that area pretty quickly. Like I just run through because I'm trying to just clean stuff up and I'm not really paying attention. But the other day I was on the phone with my niece who's in the hospital, and I was kind of paying attention to her, and I wasn't rushing through. I was just kind of meandering with my character, and I saw that pop up and I was like, what the heck is that? And I reached down and picked it up, and I got there were 4 pieces of club rush down in the rock itself. was like, well, that's fascinating. There's also a place on the bridge, I think you guys probably all seen, but there's a spawning spot on the bridge. I'm going to pick up this before I forget it's there. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to fast go through that maze because it can make people dizzy, and I didn't want to do that to you. So there's a spawning spot on this bridge here in the back. It's right here in this corner. So if you're facing the library closest to the Ever After, that space there is a spawnable spot. And then I found this out the other day too. It kept telling me that the Pegasus was here. The Pegasus was actually in this spot, like it was like right here. See where you can see like down below where there's like a crack? The Pegasus was actually in this rock. I could just see the tips of his ears. So FYI, if you can't find the Pegasus in the Mount Olympus area, check up here in this rock because he was just kind of chilling there for some reason. Yes, I do play on PlayStation 5. To decorate some of your DLC areas. But Bev, don't think about it as a whole area. So if I'm up here decorating in the Fiery Plains, okay, the Fiery Plains itself is a pretty big area. Okay, so if I'm up here and I want to decorate this area for Mulan and buildings, I'm trying not to think of it as that I'm decorating in Storybook Vale or I'm decorating in the Fiery Plains. What I want to do is say, I'm decorating for Mulan's house. And I'm literally just going to focus on just her house and her house only. So I'm going to put whatever trees I think I want to use for Mulan. If I'm starting with her house as my main point of interest, I'm going to carry that tree to my next section, which might be that one temple, and just go to the next section. So try not to decorate the entire section because that gets overwhelming very, very quickly. Just do it for this one little section, just Mulan. And I guarantee you it's going to go a lot easier for you if you do that. So if I'm just doing for Mulan, I'm not going to worry about anything behind me or to the right of the screen. If I'm, choosing, I want to decorate with these big flowers, I'm just going to decorate around her house. I'm going to add pathing, maybe just to the entrance here, right? I'm going to curve my path around just for Mulan. And then when I go to my next section, maybe I'm connecting Mulan then to this bridge, and then I'm going to decorate for this house. So just do it in small sections, and it will go a lot easier. It won't feel quite so overwhelming. So I don't think you should try to, especially if you're not confident in your decorating, don't try to go through and place the pathing for the entire area, right? Because you don't know what trees you're going to use. Are they going to go over that path? Are you going to need to move a piece of the path? What bushes are you going to use? Is it going to match the path? So I say just go in and decorate for small sections first. Hope that helps. Think of it like, I'm doing a dream snap just with Mulan. Because you said, you're confident with doing a dream snap build, right? Think of every single section of a biome as a small mini dream snap section. And then you go to the next one. Hi, Ella. How are you? Happy Sunday to you as well. Happy Sunday to you as well. I'm kind of over these holes spawning everywhere because I have more of those black shards than I know what to do with. And I don't know what to do with them half the time. It's so annoying that we can't do anything. You don't have the decorating gene. I disagree. I bet you can do it. I bet you can do it. Because here's the, oh wait, do I have? I do have a barley salad. Let's feed you. Oh wait, I already fed you today. Nope, sorry, you don't get anything. Sorry, Pegasus. You're back with more soup. Ooh, what kind of soup? Oh, bye, Tielda. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the tips, too, on Switch. I'm looking for owls. I don't know why, but I haven't been able to find any owls today. So yeah, Jean, if you saw me do my snap the other day, I literally just I pulled up a couple pictures on Google that I kind of met the theme of what I wanted to do, and yeah, I made my snap look like that picture. I mean, I think that's the best way to go about it if you feel like you just don't feel comfortable decorating yourself. Oh my gosh, cheesy potato and sausage soup sounds amazing. I've not been a soup person before, but that one sounds so good. Well, that's what Decor Camp's all about, right? I try to do these Decor Camps like twice a month. I know this month was a little weird because of the update and everything, and we had like a lot of events going on. So yeah, it was a little crazy. You're hiding your snap? Oh no. Well, you can just, I was going to say DM it to me if you want to. I don't know if it'll go through though. I don't remember. I do have a snap help section too. That's the name of the stream, Bev. Decor Camp. It'll always look like, so if you looked at the thumbnail for this stream, it's like me in a camper's outfit. It's all about me teaching you stuff, basically. So like their very first Decor Camp, I talked a lot about color theory and how you can make colors look differently based on where you put them and whatnot. I think our second one was just on dream snaps, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember. We've had a few of them though. Oh, Jean, I appreciate the love, but I'm sure it's not that bad. I was thrilled at how mine turned out. I wasn't honestly loving the market theme at first, but I think once I got in my mind I was going to do like a different kind of market, then I was okay with it. I was like, okay. Bev, it's fine. It's fine. Here you thought I was just randomly just showing you things. Yeah, no, I'm not. That's what this is for. You add extra garlic and herbs to it, but it's okay. Can you post the recipe in Discord, Deb? I'd love to have the recipe because that sounds amazing. It sounds so good. I think it's something my family would actually eat because none of us are big soup people. But that one, for sure. You know what, so Jean, basic snaps are not bad. I vote for basic snaps all the time. Thank you, Deb. I would appreciate that. I'm always looking for easy go-to recipes, especially during the school year, because we are all school people. Like I work for schools, my husband's a professor, my daughter's in school, and so I'm always looking for things that I can just kind of whip together so we can all eat together. So that'd be great. Lasagna soup. Ooh, that one sounds good too. Wait, do I even have the stuff that I'm like in here for? No, flowers. That's what it was. So did anybody have any further, like any other questions about the Star Path items or anything you'd like me to go over before we end stream and toss over to hot cocoa? Cheeseburger soup. Okay, okay. That sounds good too. Oh, yeah, you get it then. So basically, New Year is August to August, basically. It's not, the New Year for me is not January. It's definitely August. Well, I am going to raid over to Hot Cocoa. She's playing DDV now. But just a couple notes on for my channel is yeah, just general chat's fine, Deb. We are going to be doing a stream. Obviously, tomorrow morning is Wake Up with Jam. So I'll be in my PJs and I'll be with you at 7 a.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night is family game night. And then Thursday is the Q&A with Mr. Jam. And then I'm going to be playing DDV after. Friday is Dream Snap Friday. And then I'll see you again the following Sunday. So a week from Sunday. You guys are so welcome. I'm really, really glad you guys were all here. And big thanks to Cress, Pam, Tialda, Deb, Weasley, and Amy for super chatting, sharing your milestones, becoming members. Thank you guys so much. I super duper appreciate each and every one of you every single time you're here. And we'll see how many of you I see early tomorrow morning. But I'm going to get this set up to go over to Hot Cocoa. And thank you guys for all the likes on the stream. I really do appreciate that. That's amazing. You guys never fail to impress. 60 likes on the stream. We almost got to the 70, Weasley. We almost got there. But thank you guys so much. That's awesome. Oh, do you need to buy the extra coins for the extra items? Yes, you do need to buy the extended Star Path event. Okay, this YouTube redirect process, it's a process, so bear with me while I get this up and running. It's a shame you can't set it up beforehand, but you can't. You've got to go in and you've got to do it at the time. Okay. Okay, you'll see that link pop up for Hot Cocoa, and you can just tell her Dreams Raid, and I will be over there very shortly as well. Thank you guys so much, and keep on dreaming.